Hey there, commercial construction coffee talk fans. Thanks for chiming in. My name's David Corson. I'm your host. I'm also the publisher and editor of Commercial Construction Renovation magazine. This is what it used to look like when we were printing it. Pulling out the archives here. July, August 2006. Tony Hendricks, Director of Design and Construction. Let's see how big this one. This one was 208 pages. Unbelievable. Let's see where I was. I don't know where it was, but I was looking tan. My hair was brown and not as gray. But anyway, I was looking good there. And it's always nice to look at the magazine, what was going on back, almost 20 years ago. Oh, I had some of my show in here, but, I love holding the magazine, but I don't miss the printer. I don't miss the post office. And it's been a digital run, an amazing run. We get maybe a couple million people a month that hit the, depending on what month it is, that consume content, find us on the web. So all of you out there that find, the magazine, our website, the podcast, thank you so much. You are awesome. Couldn't have done it without you. So without further ado, let's get this episode rocking. Today, I have a nice gentleman from the Big Apple up in New York City. His name is Michael Fortinberry, and he's with Protiv, right? And he's the CEO founder. And what they are is they're a technology platform where they give incentives for the workforce so they're more happier, so they become more productive. And I'll let him tell the story. So Michael, say hello from New York City.
Yeah, Big Apple. Hey, I really appreciate coming on. We had a chance to talk a few minutes before we started. Cool background. If anybody doesn't know, you gotta dig into David's lacrosse and hockey stories. They're pretty good. But really grateful for the chance to come and talk to you guys. Our backstory, just to give you guys a sense of where Proto came from. We run a multifamily renovation company in New York City, and a lot of the folks out there probably listening, we were struggling. How do we keep our guys motivated? How do we, make sure that they're focused on doing the right quality work, attention to detail, good communication, and teamwork? And we started iterating with different incentive programs and really stumbled onto something that made a material difference for us. And who knew, here we are 6 years later, we end up starting a software company and been sharing it out with contractors now all over the country. So super exciting.
Well, let's dive into it. Looking back, March 2020 comes around. Cranes everywhere, all over the country. I mean, low unemployment. No one can find PMs or supers. Everything's rolling along. March comes in, boom, kaput. And even like for myself, and well, it's going to last a couple of weeks. Here are 4 years later. We're out of the tunnel. Still some bumps and potholes and et cetera that people have been hitting. And I've talked to so many people over the last couple of years that they've had the best years of their company's rate. If they could find more PMs or supers, they probably could have done more business. But you don't want to bite off more than you chew if you can't deliver. But they found out that, hey, their people are their most important thing.
Yep.
They can still maintain their company culture, whether you're still hybrid or if you brought them back to the offices. And I just think it was a learning experience. In addition, with the addition of AI and technology at warp speed, it's been an amazing transfer of how people have done things. And most of the people I talked to all last year, they all had a great year. And now, look, every day is I don't listen to all the noise out there. I don't have time for it, number one, but people are still busy, and whether it's good or bad, and whatever's going on in the world, which I can't control anyway. That's why I don't bother myself with it. But it's they're all busy. If they could find more people though, or maintain their force and keep them happier, I would think that they would, they'd have much better smooth sailing projects. So, that's kind of why I had you on here, is that there are people out here that probably don't know that these, how to incentivize their not even just their laborers or whatever, just their team in general. So talk about how you came upon it, and then whether the roller coaster ride up and down through the loop-de-loops the last couple of years, and then any cool new product lines or technology advancements. You know what I mean?
It's where this started was actually, it's kind of funny. We had a project running that we had some really tight deadlines. Multifamily renovation, a lot of times we're trying to get these properties back online, these apartment units back online, because they have people moving in. So there's scheduled, real detailed schedule adherence that you think about it. If Mrs. Smith is out front in her truck, they're moving, trying to get in there on Saturday. If you're still putting the cabinets on the wall, there's a ripple effect of that through people's lives. And, we have some very large clients, work with some of the biggest real estate companies in the world. They do not play, right? They want this, we need to deliver. And so we had a schedule where we had a certain amount of time. I remember in particular was the cabinets, right? We were getting our new cabinets on the wall was running us about 10 hours worth of labor for a carpenter to get in there and get the cabinets up in this one project. From a schedule standpoint, I really needed it done in one day. I really needed about 8 hours of this done. I have $40 an hour or so in a carpenter in New York. I've got 10 hours, $400 in labor. And basically sitting there with a couple of the guys saying, look, I'll give you the $400, the full 10 hours, but I need you out of here today. I need you to get here in the morning, get the cabinets on the wall, and be done by the end of the day. Turns out they can do it in about 6.5 hours when they want to. Now I'm thinking I'm a terrible project manager and whatever, but what we realize is that there's a different gear, and most of it is teamwork and communication. It's not rushing through jobs. It's they work more efficiently. They engage their brain when it becomes their money. What we realized we were onto is we need the crews in the field, and our system is built for the workers. We need the workers to feel like our labor budgets are their money, because they don't really care about our money. Sorry, they just don't care about your money. They care about their own money. The minute that they think that labor budget is theirs, they visualize it as their own money as a team, as individually, they treat it different. Now Bob holds Jim accountable to say, Jim, you got to do this right because I don't want to come back and fix it because it costs me money. The minute the crew is thinking like that and talking like that and engaged like that, behaviors change. When the behavior changes, it's good for us. No matter what happens on your project, that engagement is better. That communication is better. The teamwork is better. And we have this feeling at this point where we believe that 100% of the time, performance-based compensation works. It doesn't mean that it'll work for you because it's a culture system more than it's a software. But if you get the culture side of performance pay right, it's a 100% success. Our clients are winning with this program when they adopt it to the culture side of their business. So, and I will tell you, the COVID thing you alluded to it was nutty, right? I remember running around the city trying to convince New York that our business was critical. It was a critical
essential
industry so that I could keep working because we were trying to keep people working, right? And I don't know, maybe it was a bit of a stretch. So we started doing COVID cleaning for our clients and kind of some of the funny stuff we wrapped into COVID cleaning so that I could send my people out to job sites and keep people going as best we could anyway through all the crazy. And we spent we had some pretty funny little stories of convincing New York City officials that we were COVID cleaning, we're renovating an apartment. Anyway, funny stuff back then.
Listen, that the whole thing with the shutdown was it really depended on what state you were in and how busy you were going to be able to do. If you were doing an outdoor federal highway project, you were probably fine. But if you were in a state that had tight regulations and you were doing a plumbing or where people had to be close together, you weren't going to get that done. And
we were inside in New York City. Yeah.
And I don't even know where they even pulled that 6 feet thing from. I saw a thing on the web that they came up with the 6 feet thing because that's how the cell phones were tracking you or whatever they were doing. They just pulled that stuff out of thin air and everybody, but I used to talk to contractors. They'd be, if they were out west or like down in Georgia, we kind of never really shut down. I mean, there were 3 or 4 projects that were going on. They put the protocols in the place that they needed to do, and those things just kept on building. And but then if you went up 95, to a couple of the other states just north, they had
Yep.
completely different regulations. So it really depended on what
Oh, it
state
was
did you.
brutal. We almost didn't make it. I mean, we've been in business for a while. We got a lot of, some summers we're 130 people in the field, self-performing a
Hmm.
lot of work, and we almost didn't make it. Like it was touch and go there for a while, but yeah, you push through that. 2 years ago,
Makes you better. Makes you,
yeah,
listen, you're a survivor.
we did. 2 years ago, we spun the software out from the construction side. So Protiv standalone company now, raised some money for it. Started providing, we started putting the tool in. Just originally it was just people we knew. We're like, hey, are we crazy? Is this as cool as we think it is? And other people trying it out. A lot of different industries too. We've got commercial electrical companies, with 400 employees. We've got mom and pop landscapers. Did a demo this morning for a company that builds the systems that unload ships that carry grain. Crazy stuff. It doesn't matter. If you have hourly workers in the field, and you have a labor budget, and you want to create a sense of culture and teamwork around production and quality, safety, we can do that. That's and so the trade is almost not the issue for us. It's more the company's approach to building a culture of performance pay.
Yeah, and getting the word out that, hey, this is something that you should look into. It like I said, if you can get your force for what they're going to pay for your program to implement it, to get their force to get the jobs done quicker, they can get on another job. It's more revenue, it's increased, and productivity, efficiency, probably the work's done. There's less change orders. I mean, I could go down the list. Am I right?
You're right. And what we're finding is that there's a couple of keys for anybody out there who's thinking about, all right, I want to try production-based pay. Yeah, I'll share with you the secret. This is the secret. First is it needs to be simple. If your team does not understand the program, like how they make more money, if they don't understand it, it's not going to work. It has to be frequent. You actually need to pay bonuses somewhat frequent. I would say at least monthly. They need to see that their behavior on Tuesday impacts their check on Friday. Like I do X differently and I get paid more. There's a connection between those things. And the third is transparency. We have found, and this is probably what our system does the best, is that we show the workers on their phone exactly what the budget is, labor budget for the job, exactly how much time they've used so far, and the crew can set their own goals and estimate what their bonus is going to be. We
Oh,
show
wow.
it to them, let them interface. We put in your percent complete. Hey, we're 50% of the way done with this job. We've only used 40% of our budget. If we stay at this pace, how much bonus do we get in our check in 2 weeks? That their transparency to the actual number that's going to be on their paycheck. It's not, hey man, I'll pay you a bonus if you do X. That doesn't work. They don't know what that means. They don't even believe you when you say it. You've got to
Yeah.
show it to them, dollars on their phone. They can see the amount that they're going to get when this job finishes. If they do it right and they finish ahead of schedule, hit your safety targets if you've got those in there, whatever those things are. Here's how you make more money. When you do that, simple, it's transparent, pay frequently, you get behavior change, and then lean into that culturally, you can win.
Yeah. Multifamily was such a hot market. We actually we put a section in the magazine because uh,
Okay.
over, before the roller coaster started and all that, multifamily was kicking, but then it really kicked in, and it's just a hot market, and it's unbelievable. Like I have my awards coming up. I don't know how many multifamily projects that I had came in, and they're all beautiful. I mean,
They are,
some
right?
nicer than
Yeah.
others. It depends on what your budget is, but they've come a long way. As far as and I've seen the urban sprawl from Atlanta over the years. I've seen so many
Sure.
apartments. I got this huge thing that's right below the lake, and the apartments are beautiful. I don't know what they're running for. Get your
Yep.
checkbook
A
out,
lot.
but yeah, a lot. And but they're beautiful. They've done a really good job. They just didn't put up some burn, so
Yeah.
uh,
It's a we like the multifamily space for our own business. It was my background before. We've been doing this for a while. The the reality is I've seen every kind of company you can think of now rolling in Protiv. We actually have our first manufacturing company coming on that's using a unit-based approach to incentive comp. and they're going to do it in 18 plants around the country. So for us, it's really about you have hourly team, you want a culture of performance, and you've got a budget or a unit cost element that you want to incentivize upon. And then we can take your policies, etc. I want my team to wear a blue shirt every day, whatever. And we can tie all those things together. Most people out there listening have probably tried some form of bonuses in the past and probably struggled with it. It's a tough thing to do. So if you're looking at elements like annual bonuses, which are nice, but it doesn't change behavior on Tuesday in April, right?
Right.
So how do I get them to actually work differently? And if they've tried performance pay, they probably have a spreadsheet. And I know definitively if you've done that, you will love what we built because the software does stuff spreadsheet can't do. But we really think the visibility for the team and the engagement with the worker, get them involved, get them thinking and caring. So we start with money. Let's show them how they can make more money. It works.
Yeah, my family in Philly, we've been in demolition recycling since 1888. We were in sustainability before it was even a word. But I'm sure my cousins, listen, when I got my license at 16, I had to go work in the scrapyard. So
Yeah.
we have a ton of hourly workers and truck drivers and all that stuff. And after I'm done here, I'm gonna shoot my cousin a note and I'm gonna say, yo, Steve, Scott, you ever hear this thing? I'm going to send you a link to this thing. Check this out because I worked in there and I know how grumpy some of my Uncle Frank, okay, just in case of my Uncle Frank, may
Yeah.
he rest in peace. He scared the living heck out of me, all right, when I was 16 and I had to go in there and, if I was a second late, if I wasn't on the scrapyard at 7 o'clock, with my acetylene torch, I was going to get ripped. And, but he molded me. I'm glad he was rough on
Sure.
me. But it would have been great. He could have still been rough, but he was saying, "Hey, David, good job. Here's your card for the week. Go have fun."
Yeah.
I know you're going down to Atlantic City, probably wasting your money in the casino, but those kind of things weren't available back then. But we probably would have gotten more done if they knew about it. And and you could apply it to any industry, just not construction. It could be in restaurants or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
correct?
We're seeing right now restaurants, we haven't quite got there yet. We find construction's a no-brainer. If you've got
Yeah.
guys in the field that works, for landscaping, cleaning companies, and now I think the manufacturing side is kind of our next kind of space. But it's super fun. Because what we're doing, we're putting money back in the pockets of our team. And the coolest thing is labor costs are flat to down, even as wages rates go up. In real life, what we're seeing is that our clients are paying more per hour, around 12%, 14% lift in wages, but the production is paying for that. So your labor costs are flat to down. We're seeing labor costs on average actually down a few percentage points, even though the team's making more money because they're paying for their own bonus program effectively. And that really is a powerful kind of cultural connection with the team. And we've solved for a lot of the hiccups that can come. Like I can roll projects together. So if one project does well and another project doesn't, we can net those out. We can take big projects and break them into phases. The software is pretty dynamic in that way.
It sounds awesome. Listen, I became a digital guy the last year and a half, and I've learned so much. And uh, you know, the software technology, it's at warp speed, and everything is just evolving. And if you have a really good idea, and then you can expand upon it, and then obviously go into some of the marketplaces, labor's labor. If you can keep them happy, your people happy, whatever. And listen, money's always just a nice thing. People like it, especially it's just a good incentive, I think. So
We've got our approach generally is to work inside of the platforms that our clients already use. So if they're on Procore, if they're on Builder Trend and those type of systems, or in the landscape world, the Aspires of the world, et cetera, we just plug into those platforms. We pull all the data from there. Our implementation is usually about an hour to turn the software side on. But I can't emphasize enough, it's a culture step for people. If you're saying, how do I build a great company culture that engages my team, gets them to think like an owner? This is a tool to facilitate that. So it's really what we encourage people to think about as they go down this road.
Awesome. Um, Real quick, as we're talking about, incentivizing and so forth, I got to plug my sponsor here real quick.
Yeah.
Magic Mind. You guys don't know what it is. They reached out to me and I told them, I said, listen, I don't pitch anything on my program unless I try it. So went to Sprouts, got my box of bottles, and it takes a couple of days, but Magic Minds, it's all natural. And what it does is I don't drink coffee. I take vitamins in the morning. I drink water. That's me. But it doesn't have caffeine in it. It's all natural and it makes you very, very clear. It takes a couple days for you to build up, but less stress, you're more productive. It makes your mind feel clear. And I drink about maybe 3/4 of it. And if you need an extra little boost in the afternoon, um, they call it a shot. You can do it, but it's definitely worth a try. And I'll put the discount code in the description after this is over. So we're talking about productivity and so forth, even for yourself. If you don't like that jittery thing from vitamins or the buzz from the caffeine, and then you get the drop off at the end of the day, stuff is really really worth looking into, I think, and that's why I wanted to pitch it. And it was a good bridge with productivity and so forth. So I wanted to get that in. Magic Mind, check it out. And their slogan is do more, stress less. Magic Mind. I'll put the discount. I think it's discount code 20, but I'll put it in the description. So, Michael, if someone's out there in commercial construction coffee talk, I don't care if you're a developer, builder, whatever, you got hourly workers, and they're thinking about, God, I've never heard about this. How would they reach out to you?
The easiest path is probably Michael@Protiv.com. Happy to, email me directly. Our website, Protiv.com's got pretty good information on there, good sense of kind of what we do. If you're kind of looking for some basic content, some videos and things of how our system works. We'll be happy to show people. We turn it on for you, put the first month is usually free, and you just kind of, go try it out and see if you can get a behavior change, right? Because that's the key. When you want to try our system, you get in touch with us. We'll get it turned on for you with the team, or turn your whole company on, whatever you want. Give them a project, see if their engagement changes once they start to think about dollars. The conversation change. If you get that a step in that direction, you're winning. And
Yeah.
people do that.
Hey, listen, it's not going to turn overnight, but the first time you do it, they might like, oh, wow, this is really cool. And then they get in the back of mind, hey, if I do a really good job, maybe I can even get maybe a little more, or maybe they'll do it. I'm sure there's different volumes that
They
people
get
do
that
with.
on their check. When that money shows up on their check and they connect the dots between the behaviors, they were talking about it, they finished ahead, they saw some money on their phone, now it shows up in their bank account. The wheels start spinning, right? You got to get that engine going. You got to talk about it. It's harder, right? You have to talk to your team every day about money. You got to engage with them, talk about the budgets, talk about the goals, get them thinking and figuring out how they could be better. So if you get down that road within those conversations, the software is going to help you kind of close the gap on that cultural approach.
It's just like Pavlov's dog. You do it enough, you train them. It's the same thing, but you got to take action and kind of try it. So, hats off to you, to incentivize people and go for it. Listen, if someone wants to reach out to me, I'm at David C at CCR-mag.com. We'd love to hear from you. Listen, very tough to get in the magazine, but look, Michael's publicist sent me a PR piece, and we went back and forth, got him on the schedule, and I look at everything. So send it to me. Like I said, tough getting in the magazine, but we post so much content every day, and it doesn't matter if it's an anniversary for your company, a case study, you're coming out with a new promotion on a new product, a charity golf tournament. I mean, we look at everything, and it's a win-win because we'll post it, we'll index it, we'll send you the URL. You can share it. It's good for your SEO, which is your search engine optimization. They find you on Google. That's how most people find us. And I always tell people, look, if you don't buy a lottery ticket, you can't win. If you don't send me something, I can't put it out on the web, or maybe possibly even getting it in the magazine or getting it on the podcast. So send it to me. Let me judge the book by its cover. All right. And so send it to me. We look at everything. Michael, as we go finish up Q1, it's almost, I can't believe it's already almost March. It's just mind blowing.
Coming.
It was just New Year's. And anyway, as we go into Q2, 3 and 4, and before you know it's going to be December and the holidays again, if you had one positive thought or phrase that you want to leave with our listeners out there, Commercial Construction Coffee Talk, what would it be?
That's a good question. But everybody likes Will Rogers, right? They got a good Will Rogers quote. Said, "Don't let yesterday take up too much of today."
Yeah.
What we do is hard. Like construction's hard. The risk we carry, the margins we make. I mean, it's a tough business. You know, sometimes we gotta let yesterday go. Let's go win today. And you know, don't let those challenges of yesterday absorb too much of your brain. So going forward today.
I totally agree. You know, I have being a digital guy, I have a page I nurture for my marketing agency every day, and I had just put one up I don't know, a couple months or weeks ago, I forget, but I do so many of them. But your greatest day, you know, your best day was yesterday. Your greatest day is tomorrow. So, and you know, the most important thing is if you're in business, treat your business like a pet. Feed it every day, okay? Because if you don't feed your pet, it gets kind of tired whenever it wilts off. Us humans, we don't get food or water. We only last for so many days and it's over. So if you treat your business like a pet, feed it every day, feed it new leads, feed it with payables coming in, feed it with incentive programs, do whatever you can. Your business is going to thrive, and you know it's going to have a shiny coat. It's going to be energetic. You make sure you know it gets walked, and just like you do with a pet. I mean, I have 4 rescue dogs, so that you know, and I heard that, and I was like, darn, that's a really, really good thing. Treat your business like a pet. Feed it every day. So that's what I'm going to leave with you, bridging off of Michael's Will Rogers thing, which I love too. So,
All right, David. Very
a couple,
grateful. Thank you. Thank you
yeah,
so much.
no, a couple things before we shut off here. You know, we'll
Yeah.
finish up with our episode. Number one, if you're out on the construction site, we want you to be safe. Okay, we want you to get home, have dinner with your wife, your husband, your partner, whatever. See the kids, the dogs, the cats, catch some Z's, recharge yourself, be able to go out there the next day and get it all, you know, get her done like you always do. Number two, I know it's not summer yet, but it's winter. You gotta drink water. Okay, you gotta stay hydrated. You know, I mean, listen, I run every day. I'm a lacrosse hockey guy. I'm coach. Hydration is key. You get dehydrated, you get headaches. That's when you get hurt. Same thing on the construction site. You don't stay hydrated. That's when mistakes happen. We don't want that stuff to happen. So drink the water. Put some electrolytes in there. I'm telling you, you'll feel much better. And number 3, hit the like button. We want to get the algorithms out there, you know, on YouTube and stuff, so they can find out about the incentive program with Mr. Michael here and what he's got to offer. So, Michael, honor to have you on the show. I know we're on LinkedIn. I see you popping up here and there. It's always put, you know, face, you know, with a static picture on LinkedIn and stuff. So when I get up to the city, I want to go check out one of your projects. And
All right, we'll take you out. We'll show you around for sure.
Yeah, and listen, you're a sailor. I'll go out there, man. I'll be the
we'll
first.
get you out on the water
You
too.
give me the wheel. I can do the sheet line or the trim or whatever, you know.
We'll get you down in front of the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, no, I'd love it. You know, listen,
I
take people say that, and I'm like, hey, I'm coming in. I'm going to take you up on that, you know, or we'll go see a Rangers game, whatever. I don't care. You know, it's hot Devils. We'll go across the river. So
when the Avalanche coming to town again.
Yeah, no, hey, listen, that'd be great too.
Right.
So everybody have a great, you know, listen, weekend's coming up. You got TGIF tomorrow, the weekend. Enjoy yourself. Have a great, be safe once again out on those construction sites. And Michael, say goodbye from the Big Apple.
David, thank you again very, very much. Appreciate it.
No, honored to have you. Pleasure meeting you. And I'm going to sign off from Sugar Hill, just below the Beaufort Dam up by Lake Lanier, about 25 miles or so north of downtown ATL. And everybody, we will see you next time on another episode of Commercial Construction Coffee Talk. Michael, thank you so much. I look forward to meeting you. All right. Ciao, everybody. See ya.